are my finished necks. Everything is now carved, smooth and round, as you can see. It was a pretty satisfying process actually to have this this square piece of wood come to this round shape. Really happy about how it turned out. I did, as you've seen, made this little jig here, just a place to hold the neck. Turned out pretty useful. It's actually pretty simple too, just 2 pieces of the 3/4 inch plywood nailed and glued together with some felt padding over here, and just put it like that, so it allows to be able to carve the old neck without having to move it and reclamp it in every way. And this part right here is what, because I didn't want to apply pressure directly on the right here, because I was afraid that it would maybe crack something or anything. But I found a sublime trick using those dowels that fit into the peg holes, and using this little strap contraction down there, as you've seen me use. It was holding pretty good. Actually, I was able to carve the old thing and it didn't really move, and just clamp this base into my vise right here. So this was really useful, pretty simple to do, and did the trick. I use, like you've seen, for this carving mainly this little spoke shape here, which is a pretty simple tool but really effective, and this larger rasp here. It's a coarse file on one side and more of a rasp on the other side. That is really useful to remove a lot of material. I did use some other files of different shapes too, but I'd say that the spoke shape along with this rasp were the 2 main tools that I did use for carving those necks, along with also sandpaper, of course. I did use, I don't have it right here, but I did use this little roll of smaller sandpaper, just like that I use for wood turning. It comes in a roll that you can cut the length where you want to. It was pretty useful because this stuff is really durable. You can't really tear this out, and it was useful to sand the rounder necks. So pretty happy again about how it turned out. Necks are now ready to attach permanently to the bodies. I did spend some time to refining this neck joint here. It was already nearly as I wanted it, but I still had to do a little more flossing to make sure the line is really good. And it's now to the point that I want it. It's not exactly perfect, but it's really close to it. This joint here, there's close to no gap at all. This one is perfect actually. This one has a little tiny mini airline over there, but I can't really get it any better than that without having again to change the angle of the neck, the angle like that and like that. And right now everything is perfectly aligned, so I'm not doing it anymore. I'm happy about how it is right now. This little airline is really no big deal. It's gonna go on like that, and I'm not too concerned about that. So that's it for now. Again, maybe just a little bit of sanding still needed, but it's already pretty smooth actually. Maybe just a little wipe, sand with a really iron grit paper before I will do the finishing. But right now I'm done with those necks. Next step, I'm going to attach the necks to the bodies, attaching of course, gluing this little tongue here, but not the actual tenon, because this is bolt-on tenon and mortise. So I'm going to bolt it to the inside of the guitars and just glue the tongue. And my next step will be to actually radius the fretboards. So I will obviously need a radius block to do this sanding. And again, I decided to make one instead of buying one, because those radius sanding block cost and harming the leg, and for what it is, I mean, it's totally. I don't want to spend this kind of money as something that I can make. I will just. I'll probably make a separate video about making the radius block itself. So those will be my next step. Attaching the necks to the bodies, making the radius block, sanding block, and actually applying the radius to those fretboards using the blocks. So until then, make sure to subscribe to get a notification whenever I post my next video.